Hi, I am Liera, as you probably already know because you're on my channel, and welcome back, by the way. So this is going to be a short vlog with maybe some information about myself and some of the questions that I got asked, and I will also talk about some future gaming plans for the channel that I have. Let's get into it. First and foremost, I'm not very good at talking about myself, so I'm probably going to be stumbling over my words a lot, so my apologies in advance. I do have a list of topics that I want to talk about, so if you see me looking down, this is me checking in with my notes. Let's get it started. First of all, I am a casual gamer, and I started playing video games since when I was maybe 14 years old or something. It's a bit of a late start as it goes for most other people, but I grew up in Russia and we did not have a good access to neither games nor hardware really. So getting a hold of some of those things, the consoles or PCs or what have you, was a bit of a challenge, especially considering that my family was not particularly well off anyway. So yeah, a bit late, but again, considering the place where I grew up, the things also did not come to us right away, so I still got to enjoy some of the older things that were a little dated by the time that they got to me, but an experience is still an experience. So what I started with, besides some random games that I was able to find in my school's computer lab for whatever reason, that's where I first played Prince of Persia and Quake, of all things. So that was during the time when I did not have a console or a computer at home, so my only sources and resources for games were in a computer lab. I still don't know why Quake or Prince of Persia or anything was installed on there, so yeah, that was fun finding that just one day. Well, when I did get a computer at home, one of the first games that I got to play on it was actually Lineage 2, of all things. I was introduced to it by a friend of mine, and after that we spent probably way too much time playing that. Luckily, I still was able to keep up with the rest of the life and not get too sucked into the world of an MMO. Also, I have to mention that I'm not a native English speaker, so if I say something weird or if I sound weird or if my grammar is not correct, I do apologize. I try to do my best, but what can you do? Sometimes you just mess up. Alright, so now on to questions that I got. The first one being, what is my favorite game? That one is actually really difficult to answer because there's so many games that I truly love with all my heart, and some of them I just even recently discovered. So I think I can say that a game that will always hold a place in my heart, regardless of what other games I discover after that, is going to be Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. I think it came out in 2005, if I'm not mistaken, so it's pretty old at this point. I think it still holds up because it was innovative in a lot of ways at the time that it came out, and some of the things that it did then, I kind of wish that the games nowadays would still employ. If you haven't played it, do check it out. I don't know if there are any videos to look at in terms of that game, but it is available on Steam and it is available on GOG. If you have other means of acquiring it, I'm sure it's going to be available there too. Not going to mention those specific places, but you know what. Do I watch other YouTubers? Yes, I do. It's actually watching YouTubers and enjoying their content was the main reason why and how I got into it myself, because I really, really appreciate and enjoy watching people play through the games and just being their audience. It's entertaining and it's calming in a way. I don't quite understand how that works exactly, but that's how it makes me feel, at least. It's like I am part of their journey, but also I'm kind of on the sidelines being the support for them, even though they can't hear me or anything, but that's how it works in my head, at least. I don't necessarily want to name those particular YouTubers, but if you would really like me to, I can. Some of them, well, one of them I don't watch as much anymore because she mostly moved on to Twitch, and I don't particularly jive with her schedule anymore, and watching those videos after the fact does not have the same ring to it as if I was watching it pre-recorded or if I was participating during the live stream. So that doesn't quite work out anymore. But speaking of Twitch, I really only go on there to watch my friends stream, and it's just kind of a casual conversation over a video game about a variety of topics, so I wouldn't even count it as a gaming stream that I watch. It's just a hangout with friends. On to the next one. Is your channel mostly about first-time playthroughs? Yes. That was my goal for the channel initially. I wanted to, well, I started out the channel just to have the Souls series on it, and then when I started playing Dark Souls Remastered, my perspective kind of shifted into like, oh, this is actually really fun. I am going through the game for the first time, and I get to share my own experience with other people so they could potentially live vicariously through me or remember their own playthroughs when they played it for the first time, and compare my reactions to their reactions. Yeah, this is basically what my channel evolved into. There are some exceptions, like Dark Souls 3 or Bloodborne. I have played both of those before, but I still wanted to have them on the channel. And granted, both of them are sitting out there not finished yet, but I do plan to finish both of them. There are also other Souls games in the genre that I would like to play, and I haven't played before. More to come soon. Oh, speaking of that, the next question is if I will continue Dark Souls 3. So yes, I have played it before, like I said, but I want to continue and finish it because even though I know where things are in general, it is still a lot of fun to work on the fighting part of it, to try to figure out the best way to approach something, to try to learn new techniques or get the timing better. I feel like that's where a lot of replayability in the Souls games comes from. You just never stop honing your skill in how to approach certain enemies, bosses, or groups of enemies, or groups of bosses sometimes even. More to come on that. Although, I gotta say, after playing 3 Dark Souls games in a row, it's wearing on me a bit, so I might need a break from that, but I will get finished. I swear. Will I play Sekiro? Yes, I will play Sekiro. I have a love-hate relationship with Sekiro, to be honest with you guys, because I tried to start that game so many times, failed miserably so many times, but I feel like after spending a bit more time playing the Souls games in general, I might have a better chance at it now, and especially after I got some pointers from some of my other friends. So yes, there will be another attempt on Sekiro, and it will be on camera, so all of you guys will get to witness my rage when I fail over and over again. The next question is a bit odd. what is your concept of the Souls series? I don't know if I completely understand the question. So, what do I think of them? I don't know. They are a very different type of a game to me. In general, I tend to go for games that are very heavy in the plot and intrigue and just world building kind of types. And with the Souls series, all of the lore is very much hidden from a casual viewer, and it's not presented to you in a hand-holding kind of way. If you don't look yourself, you'll never realize that something is happening or something is connected to something. And that part I like, but for me, I think the main reason why I play those games is the challenge. It's, like I mentioned before, it's about working out how to approach something, what kind of tools to use, figure out if something is weak to something or strong to something. And all of those things are more or less present in every other game that I played too, but there's something different about the Souls series specifically that makes it stand out to me. I'm not sure how to explain that. And the following and the community of those games is very strong and very present, which I appreciate. And so far, honestly, people have been really supportive of my struggles with certain bosses and me trying to figure something out and get better or improve something or other. And I appreciate that. I don't think anyone's been mean to me about failing a boss over and over yet, and not to say it's not gonna come later, but so far, everyone has been very kind, which is awesome, honestly. So I don't know if I answered your question, and if I didn't, please let me know in the comments and maybe try to expand on it a little bit. Like I said, I'm not a native English speaker, so maybe I just didn't quite understand it. I'm sorry. Speaking of which, the second question from the same person was, have I ever been told that I look like Amy Lee? No, I have never been told that, but I am extremely flattered because I find her very pretty. I actually used to listen to her music a lot when I was in school. She's got a beautiful voice, really. If you haven't listened to any of her music, go check it out. It's a bit angsty in accordance with the genre that she sings in, but I still like it. There's a certain nostalgia about that for me. And the last question is Mass Effect related, and it is it Tali or Liera? This question has a similar vibe to me as is it Yennefer or Triss in the Witcher series? I don't know which one. I don't think I'm far enough in the game to answer the question. I like them both. They are both interesting in their own way. I find Liara absolutely adorable, and Tali is the quirky type of interesting, so I don't know which one I would pick. Can I have both? Now let's chat a little bit about the channel status and the games that we're gonna play, and what is to come in the future. So I mentioned it before in my previous vlog that I am continuing, or I've put together a list of games that I want to play, and some of them are in order. Like for instance, we just got done with Bioshock 1, and Bioshock 2 is to come after. So I probably will need to finish either Prey or Mass Effect before I start Bioshock 2. But as soon as one of them is finished, Bioshock 2 is going to make an appearance. And this is kind of how I'm hoping to continue the trend. So essentially finish one game of the series, then put like a buffer of another game in between, and as soon as that's done, move on to game number 2 from the same series. and basically just kind of try to alternate it like that. I feel like that is going to make it different enough for me to stay consistent with finishing the games. And to be honest with you guys, this is another reason why I am doing this channel, is because I tend to be very flighty when I'm playing video games, as in I would start a game, I would absolutely love it, and then something else will come out, or I see something else, I will start that and absolutely love that, and then the cycle continues without me finishing the first game in the first place. So with this YouTube channel, I kind of want to keep myself accountable, if that makes sense. Just so it's essentially, I have someone else call me out on when I abandon something or forget about something for too long, so I would go back to it and finish it. I hope I'm making sense. But yes, I think I have about 50 games on my spreadsheet right now, so if I keep this up, this channel is going to be alive for a very long time. And I hope you guys are still going to enjoy every bit of it with me. Now into the last point, I wanted to have a few words about Elden Ring, because as a lot of you probably know, it's out right now and available, and probably the entirety of Twitch and YouTube is either recording or streaming it. But yeah, I'm also planning to play it, of course, because I've waited for so long and I could not be more excited. I will try to keep it as spoiler-free as I possibly can without revealing anything in either the thumbnail or the description. And maybe I can keep the description detailed enough to kind of hint at the areas that I'm going to without naming the specifics, because I want to be conscious about not spoiling the experience for anyone who doesn't want to get spoiled. And on that note, I completely understand if not a lot of people watch those videos because they want to go through the game themselves first. No worries, hopefully you will be back eventually after you are done with your own experience to try to laugh at my struggles as I try to go through the game, but as of right now, I will try to keep it as respectful as possible, and I hope you guys enjoy it with me. Well, that is about it. If you have any more questions, please ask me down in the comments. I will be happy to answer, either right there or during one of the Let's Plays or any other time, really. As of right now, Liera out.